Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Pisces, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you in your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Judgment card. Big change is on the horizon for you, my dear Pisceans. This is a moment of elevation. It's a moment of rising up. This is where you are effectively becoming the phoenix rising from your own ashes. This suggests a big push forward or a big change in some way. And I kind of get the feeling this might be to do with something in your life that is already ticking over. So as an example, this could, it doesn't necessarily have to be a promotion, but it could be where something about your job or your duties in your work come up for a change or for a review. Remember, the Judgment card as well is usually a powerful call to action where you're having to get into something where you feel that need or that powerful inward drive to move ahead with something or to push ahead with something. This could be a powerful week for you, especially having realizations about the past in some way as well. Very, very possible. So with that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't seen it yet, what rock have you been living under? Reydiant Reality is releasing a new course, Mindset Magic, goes live on the 7th of June. I'm so excited to bring you guys this one because this is all about manifesting your best, creating the life of your dreams, and doing all of the weird and wonderful things that it takes to get you to that space. This is about it's about a repeatable blueprint for success. So I'm really excited about this. There's PDFs, there's exercises, there's even meditations. If you liked my chakra meditations, you are going to love this. On top of that, there are quarterly community calls where you can ask me any kind of question. Plus we'll be getting into all sorts of energy work, which is really fun. And then on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, you'll also gain access to the Reydiant Reality Course Alums Facebook group, which you will only have access to if you are a course alum. So if you've done any of my courses, you will already be in there. If not, then you won't. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned. Instagram and Facebook will give you more information, as will the YouTube community tab. And you can ask me any questions you like there. All right, so thank you so much for allowing me to get that out. Sorry, I know not everybody wants to hear it, but ultimately this is how I do work, right? So for your actions and options, you've got the 8 of Swords. This is you breaking free of some form of confinement. This is you letting something go. This is that moment where, if you've seen the Harry Potter film with the dragon, this is that moment where you feel the rumble and the dragon breaks, bursts out of the floor, right? This is that moment where you're breaking out of your cage or you're breaking the mold that people know you for. This is going to be a powerful week for you, Pisces. And I actually think for a lot of you, this may be you saying something, doing something, declaring something this week, where it's kind of like, there's no going back from here. I have something to say, I'm going to be heard, and I'm not stepping back or holding back on it. I love this. And that 8 of Swords, which usually represents constriction, confinement, in the face of the Judgment card, that call to action that comes from within, you're not settling for that anymore. And I love this for you. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Lovers card. So even though this isn't in the love sector, there was potential love connections coming in this week. This could be somebody that you work with, maybe somebody in that sphere. It could just as easily be that a friend, maybe a friend tries to set you up. Maybe a friend tells you, by the way, did you know that, this person within our social group or something actually likes you? There's a potential here for you to be set up by somebody else, which could be really nice. Now, more in line with the position that it's about, the Judgment card suggests that there is a big change coming to the work. And this is you it's like you've got a big decision to make that will lead to big actions. This is you breaking out of a mold in some way. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, the Lovers card sees you really having a choice to make about whether what you're studying actually works for you anymore, or if there's something about it that needs to be adapted. Like, is this truly what you want? This is that moment. If it's not, it's fine. If it is, it's fine. Like, there's no tragedy here. It's literally just a case of you're at a point now where it's like you're making a powerful and a big, possibly far-reaching, rippled decision. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, yes, potential love in the workplace, but this also suggests that maybe your employer comes to you and says, you know, anything from, you know, if you're temping, let's say, we want to make you permanent, right through to, you know, we're starting a new department and we want you to head it. You know, the position that you're in right now isn't going to exist in 6 months' time. We want to create something else. Are you interested in that? There's a big change coming to the work, and it's like this week, it might be that you're having to decide this week, but the changes won't be implemented until later, but there is a big change coming regardless. Business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is you discovering or rediscovering what sets your soul on fire when it comes to your job, how you fall in love with the work that you do, the service that you offer, the products that you sell. There's something here that is coming up for renewal, and I kind of feel like a lot of you are really digging in. It's like, you know what, I've got to that point where it can't be this way anymore. It has to be something different. For those of you that are retired and no longer looking, if you're single and retired and no longer working, this could be that you meet somebody in a community setting, or maybe you and a friend decide to take something further, which could be really sweet. For those of you, for your love and relations, you've got the Seven of Swords. So you've got this underneath the Eight of Swords. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, and sitting on a secret, maybe, you know, something has been shared with you about a significant other, etc. Maybe it's something that you have held back as a secret that you are silently pissed at your partner about. This week, I would say air your grievance, just because if you hold on to it for too long, it will probably just get gnarly and ugly. And, you know, at this point, after the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, it's likely to come out anyway. Remember, eclipses are 3 to 6 months events. So this is something that's likely to unfold or unpack over time. And if you don't get it out, it will probably be brought out for you in some way. So this week, it's kind of like rip off the Band-Aid if you're in a relationship. For those of you that are single, it could be in, like I said, in the workplace, through the workplace, etc. It could be that a friend tries to set you up. That Seven of Swords, though, this isn't supposed to be something permanent. All right, it can be flirtatious, it can be fun. I'm not entirely sure it's supposed to be more than that now that I've seen this card. For your money and materials, you've got the Devil card. Be careful of overspending or over emotional spending. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this could be you and a partner. Like, this could be actually conversations, and tough conversations at that, about money, about resources, about who's spending what. For those of you that are single, beware impulse buying is probably what I want to say to you. For your physical health and vitality, the Devil card is where your vices and your excesses get the better of you. Whether this is smoking, drinking, eating, whatever it is, you've got to watch out for that this week, and you've got to keep yourself on target, because with the Judgment card, this could be you have, you know, maybe you have that one extra glass of wine, and this time it hits you completely differently, and you're like, okay, I'm going to take a break from having a drink. You know what I mean? Like, this time, it could be something that you do every single day, but this time it could hit differently. So just be mindful. When it comes to your home and environment, honestly, I would watch the environment this week for the Pisceans. It could be that something kicks off in your local environment. It could be that something happens and you're drawn into it even though you don't want to be. It's not you, it's the neighborhood this week, so be mindful of that. With that said, it's an interesting spread, I gotta say. but I'll be interested to see how it shapes up for all of you guys and what you say in the comments. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.